Golden State Warriors fans, how we doing? Dub Nation? Hey, Dub Nation, this is C-Train. Hey, you hanging in there? You're hanging in there. It's been an up and down season, hasn't it? It has been a roller coaster ride season for the Golden State Warriors. Hey, let me break it down to you real quick. Let's give you an omelet. Let's do a little Golden State Warriors update and just chat about the state of things and some options right now. So currently, of course, the Golden State Warriors are 9th in the Western Conference, and they just got annihilated by Sacramento at home. So the Warriors just lost by something like 30. I'm not really sure. Like, I had to turn it off. I'm sorry. Like, I know that there are Warriors fans out there that are just so diehard, and I am as well. But it's like, dude, there's only a certain extent, right? It's like I got to also do other things in my life. Oh, that was difficult. That was a difficult one. So 9th in the West, just got absolutely shellacked by the Kings without De'Aaron Fox when the Warriors had Steph. Let's break things down, I guess, real quick. So, number one, the Golden State Warriors last week, I believe. Was it last week? Steph Curry said that the Warriors were, quote, mid. Not good. Not good. So since Steph Curry called the Warriors mid, which is not a good thing, that's like sort of like mediocre, good, or okay, but maybe not even good, right? Okay, since that happened, Jonathan Kuminga is now out for 3 weeks plus. So 3 weeks to even be evaluated again with a pretty bad ankle injury, pretty bad ankle sprain, they're saying. So that mid team has gotten appreciably worse, right? They're markedly worse because a mid team losing Kuminga for nothing is really, really not good. And look, I think that that was indicated by their first game without Kuminga. Joe Lacob was there tonight for that Kings game, and he should take major offense to the product that he put out on the floor. The product that he put out on the floor is not acceptable. It's not up to Golden State Warriors championship DNA. It's not up to those standards in any way, shape, or form. Let's talk about some moves that the Warriors can make. But first of all, should we talk about moves that the Warriors can make? Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. has been on the record saying that trades are hard. And listen to this. I would contend correctly that he's actually never really made a trade. He's barely actually really made an NBA trade. I'll tell you this. Why? I'll tell you why. So it's like the GP2, the Gary Payton trade was maybe the realest one that he ever did. But it's like he had to get rid of Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson was a sign and trade. So he got assets back. But I mean, the deal was that Klay was going to that helped the Warriors out so that they could get some contracts back, right? Well, it's not like that's not like actively going out and gauging the market and making a daring trade. We'll just go. We'll go one more, right? So we look at Dennis Schroder. DeAnthony Melton is out. He was out for a month before the Schroder trade. The Warriors basically had to trade that contract. So when we're talking about a GM that's getting creative, that has the stones, that has the guts to pull a daring trade off that really helps shift this Golden State Warriors season around, I don't think that that's Mike Dunleavy Jr. And I'll take you one step more. I don't know if Mike Dunleavy Jr. has a trade in him. And I have said, and we all know this, I mean, if you followed C-Train Station, I've said, the Warriors are multiple moves away, right? This can't be changed overnight. There's no one deal, even like a LeBron deal. There's no one deal that's going to save this team. This team is incredibly mediocre, put together with incredibly mediocre components, right? Steve Kerr, whatever he was saying when he said that this was the deepest squad that he's ever had, it doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold water anymore. The strengths in numbers failed earlier this season when Melton went down, and the Warriors have been scrambling ever since. Let's talk positive, though. What can the Warriors do? What are some moves? Okay, number one, should we panic, Dub Nation? Absolutely. This is the second year running that they've done this BS. You can't continue to just fool. Like, Dub Nation, Warriors fans, don't continue to just be fooled. The Warriors need to show growth on the court, stable and consistent winning. They need to earn that from you, honestly. Okay, I know everybody's going to be a fan regardless. Look, we all love our Bay Area Warriors basketball, but this, in order to achieve any type of success in the postseason or any type of greatness, yeah, it's like a lot of things, a lot of talent needs to come through those doors, okay? Like, look, I love Lindy Waters, I love Moses Moody, I love Pat Spencer, I love Trace Jackson Davis, like the rest of us, right? But all those names that I mentioned, like, none of them have been on an all-star team. None of them have been like consistent playoff, contributors. Anyways, so it's difficult when you don't have like the straight up talent. And here's what I'll say: I like Spencer, Moody, and Lindy Waters, but they're like a step up from G League players. So so the Warriors' inability to consolidate talent and level up is just inexcusable. So look, I can talk. I can create all these awesome trade ideas, right? All these amazing ones, right? But look, if the Warriors, if Mike Dunleavy Jr. isn't going to get out of his own denial, you can't even get off the couch with these things. These ideas have no legs whatsoever if there's no delivery system, right? Like, here's an example. I know this is like interesting. This is interesting. If I'm Mike Dunleavy Jr., at literally every hour, every friggin' second, I'm checking and making sure that, here's an example, that the San Antonio Spurs aren't looking to make a deal. This is why. Because if the San Antonio Spurs do make a deal or are active whatsoever, the Warriors need to get in on that and overpay for a player like Jeremy Sohan. Like, for sure, a positionless, in a good way, player like Jeremy Sohan, who honestly, like, is now probably too invaluable for the Spurs to give up. But that's not necessarily what I mean. I'm talking about that Mike Dunleavy Jr. should be doing his due diligence and getting in on other deals, making trades, 3-team trades, right? Another team is like, if the Portland Trailblazers are looking to make big moves, keep an eye out for Denny Avdia and Donovan Clingan. Can you snag one of those guys, right? They could be Denny Avdia and Clingan, like, solve so many issues for the Warriors. Can they be had without completely dissolving the whole squad? But moving on. The Jimmy Butler trade. Let's overview that real quick because he's on the block and whatnot. I cannot condone any trade that's trading Jonathan Kuminga out now. Unfortunately, I can't do it. Jonathan Kuminga has proven himself way too capable and way too worthy. I cannot endorse trading Jonathan Kuminga. I believe that he should be on the squad because of this. In the past 2 weeks, with his games, he's had a few. I think he had like a 34-point, 10 rebound, 4 assist, 2 steal game, and then he had another 30-plus point game. Look, for years now, I've been like, Jonathan Kuminga, at any time he can go off, right? At any time, this guy can like, I was waiting for him to go off, waiting for him to kill, telling him I'll sort out the bodies, right? Okay, he's done it. When I was younger, watching players like Vince Carter, watching players grow like Tracy McGrady, those 30-plus point games that Jonathan Kuminga has produced, that it's now on tape, and honestly, he's just been amazing since he's been just more active. When he gets the ball, either pass it and get out. When he gets the ball, make a play, right? He has shown me that ability, that upside. Like, so when I saw it, like Tracy McGrady used to sort of mess around and almost get triple doubles when he was with like the Raptors, right? Okay, a long time ago. I see, heck no, do I see that talent? Like that, no, because Tracy McGrady was like another level, right? But I see all-star level, star level, bona fide star level talent and ability within Jonathan Kuminga. And one last thing. I forget which game it was, but it was a few games ago. It was against the Sixers. Jonathan Kuminga played flawlessly and seamlessly in the fourth quarter with Steph and Draymond Green. One more time. In the fourth quarter, into the game, Jonathan Kuminga was playing spectacularly with Draymond Green and Stephen Curry. So I have flip-flopped. Now, I wouldn't trade Andrew Wiggins either, but you definitely trade Wiggins before you trade Kuminga. Kuminga, just that offensive ability. He's hitting that, able to get 20 points a game. And that's all I've ever asked. Like, all I've really ever asked is for him to be himself, right? But like, he is now becoming the best version of himself. And it sucks that he got sidelined by that. It sucks that he got sidelined by the ankle injury. But yeah. So what does that mean? That means to me that like those LeBron trades, like the Giannis, the visions and stuff, all of those would involve Kuminga. And currently, legitimately, I can, there's only a few players that I could endorse trading Kuminga for. And we might get to that. But number one, Jimmy Butler isn't one of them. However, I would trade Wiggins for Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler is he is a step above. He's got a little bit greater of an impact. But shoot, I love Andrew Wiggins, but I'm just saying if it's a 1-for-1, I would go for Jimmy Butler this season, which is why, and it's not necessarily what the Warriors are going for, is it? So keep Wiggins, definitely keep Jonathan Kuminga. Let's talk about Dennis Schroder a little bit. He's doing better. He did poorly this game against Sacramento, but I think he's doing better. He never stops scrapping on defense, which I really like. I think that the way to endear yourself to your teammates, to your team, is through defense. Doing that was really good. But gosh, when we are talking about a Steve Kerr type of player, when we were talking about that, like even like the Bob Myers, good side of Bob Myers, right? And that archetype, Dennis Schroder just doesn't fit that mold because of how short he is. So Schroeder's a good finisher at the rim, but like the dubs for length, for defense, because of Steph and his size, Schroder doesn't necessarily fit the bill. Let's give the case in point tonight. Look at how he played defense against Malik Monk. Schroder got absolutely annihilated by Malik Monk, and it wasn't even close. And Malik Monk isn't the best. He's not the best of the shooting guards out there. I cannot endorse Schroder starting on the Warriors. I do not think that they will get super far with him starting at the 2 guard. He's too small. He's too diminutive. And I'm not trying to be like sizist or anything like that, but look, like a guard who can still break down defenses though, but like with a lot more length for defense, a lot more length so he can finish, because there's so much space opened up by Steph and some good shooters on the Warriors. Like I would have loved for the Warriors to go for like a Markelle Fultz. He can finish. Darn it. That's okay. So I gave the Schroder trade like a B+. I still go with that. I like his potential with the Warriors, but it's a limited potential because of that size. Unless your last name's Iverson, it's a little tough to finish at the hoop when you're 6'1", 6 feet tall. Mike Dunleavy Jr. has stated that he needs a few weeks to see what he has with Schroder, and I believe him. This is what I believe when he said, because he stated that. That was reported on ESPN just the other day. I believe it was ESPN. Anyways, I believe that right now, currently, the Warriors who sit in ninth, they have an easier schedule, and I believe that Mike Dunleavy Jr. is looking to not work. These predictions are they're generally right on. So, like, I believe that what he really, okay, this is what I'm saying. I think that the schedule lets up a little bit and that will alleviate some of the pressure. A few wins will alleviate the pressure from Mike Dunleavy Jr. to make a move. And while I think that the wins are always good, I think that Mike Dunleavy Jr. should have felt pressure for almost 2 years now, right? Going on 2 full seasons now. He should have felt the pressure to make a move, and he's failed to really do that. But that's okay. You can still do it. But it's going to be difficult, and he'll have to give up capital, which I don't care about at all. I couldn't care less. I think that you can I think that you can wiggle around with draft capital, and Stephen Curry is so worth it. If you saw those 20 first half points against the Kings just tonight, Stephen Curry's so worth it, man. Amazing player. The best player, one of the best players ever. Best player, in my opinion, that I've ever seen. Okay. Players that I would love to see the Warriors acquire. I would love to see, of course, Cam Johnson, right? Cam Johnson of the Nets. I think it's too late. The market's been set for Cam Johnson, and I do not think the Warriors get Cam Johnson without giving up Kuminga or without giving up Andrew Wiggins. And that is such a shame because there's such a big market now. I think that maybe either Memphis, possibly OKC, they have so many draft picks, right? I could see one of them getting Cam Johnson and just, that's devastating, right? That is devastating. The Warriors really could have used him, right? Great three-point shooter, amazing defender, great link-up play. Here's another player that I also think is probably too late. DeAndre Hunter of the Atlanta Hawks. The Warriors have been rumored to be looking at Hunter about a month ago, and I think that the Warriors should, if they can give up just draft if I were the Dubs, I would make the salaries match, right? So I'd like a GP2, a Looney, and maybe Moody, and I would give a first-round draft pick away for DeAnthony Hunter. DeAndre Hunter, sorry. I'm thinking of DeAnthony Melton a lot. So, but yeah, for DeAndre Hunter, the forward from the Hawks, I would definitely give away a future first-round draft pick. Not this year, but yes, because of this, think about this. Steph, Wiggins, Hunter, Kuminga, Draymond, and then how about this? It has been rumored that Bobby Portis is on the block. You bring Bobby Portis off the bench with Dennis Schroder. You got that lineup, Steph, Wiggins, Hunter, Kuminga, Draymond. That is a lineup that will probably cost you 2 future first-round picks and the salary, but the Warriors can work with that roster. The Warriors can win with that roster. Okay? Sure. Are they going to have a little bit of trouble maybe breaking down a defense? I don't know. Draymond's good at breaking down defenses. JK, Kuminga can as well. So I know that wouldn't be... What I'm saying is that there are possibilities. However, they're dwindling, they're diminishing, and they're dwindling right before our eyes. And here's an example: it's like the Warriors were looking at DeAndre Hunter last month. I don't think he's available anymore, and I don't think he's available. I think that he definitely was available, and now I definitely think that he is not because the Hawks are better. I don't think they want to trade him. I think it's going to cost a lot more, right? You look at the teams who are going to be willing to deal. It's like the Hawks, maybe the Nets are open for business, right? We know that the New Orleans Pelicans are looking to deal, right? it's just not gonna work out though. Herb Jones would look amazing in a Warriors uniform. He's not really up on the block. Zion Williamson, I would take a flyer on him, but I wouldn't give up a player who actually plays, like Andrew Wiggins for him, right? Sure, I would give up this crazy amount of salary. I'd give up like a Schroder. I give up like a Schroder, Moody. Then you got Looney, GP2, and like whoever, like a Kyle Anderson, right? All those guys could. I think that they do. That you could get close, but no, I'm not going to break up anything for Zion Williamson. But what I would do is a nice. It's prudent to, gosh, the DeAndre Hunter trade, the Bobby Portis trade. Those are the ones that at least give you a shot. They at least give you a shot. And right now, the Warriors do not have a shot. They have not played well enough since DeAnthony Melton went down. They have not won consistently. They're getting rolled. And that's just the way the mob flops, as some people would say, right? So yeah, would I put out Schroeder's salary in a trade? Again, absolutely, to fill. Yes, definitely. In my opinion, it would like Steph, Dre, Wiggins, Kuminga. Those are my 4 guys. Other than that, so like listen to this. Okay. The Warriors, that's 4 players that I just mentioned, okay? Honestly, like that, I love Pajensky. I love a lot of other, look, that leaves you like 10 players who you could possibly trade out to improve. I understand that it is very hard to make a deal for Jimmy Butler. It isn't as difficult to have made a DeAndre Hunter, to make a Bobby Portis trade. Here's what I do think the Warriors will do. I think that the Warriors may make a deal with the Hawks. I think it'll be for a guy like, remember this, Bogdan Bogdanovic. This is why. Bogdan is a buy low player. I think that the Warriors can get him with second-round draft picks. I think they can do like 3 or 4 second-round draft picks and salary. He's the type of conservative move that Mike Dunleavy does. So like, I'm predicting Bogdanovic because I think that Mike Dunleavy thinks that he's smarter than he is and will try to do something like a buy low on Bogdanovic. Whereas buying regular or on a DeAndre Hunter would be better. He's more in form. He provides a lot of what the Warriors need, but hey, Bogdanovic does as well. He's a guard / play a little bit of small forward, a good 3-point shooter, and is a little bit of a dog and will definitely fit in with a Steve Kerr style offense and style of play. Think of him as Bogdanovic could be like maybe DiVincenzo without the handles, something like that. Gosh, but this is difficult. We're getting into red alert territory for the Warriors, and the reason is it's not because they're 9th in the West right now. Okay, that's not why we're like in red alert. We're in red alert territories because they're 9th in the West, and they're not necessarily. They're 9th in the West. Their record without DeAnthony Melton is like one of the worst in the league, and they still think that they're 9th. So they got a lot of work to do, and I don't think that they know that they have a lot of work to do, right? They are a solid 2 really good players away from like winning consistently. Other than that, it's going to be a coin flip, and we won't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. And I definitely think, sure, if you can get DeAndre Hunter salary plus a first, do it. It honestly, Portis is borderline. You trade a first, but you just don't do it for this year. This draft is absolutely amazing. I would not trade a draft pick this season. However, there are 3 guys that just Well, there are a couple. There are a few guys, right? But 3 names. If one of the teams continues to do bad, and if the Lakers take a total shock drop, LeBron James, I could see the Warriors trading anybody outside of Steph for LeBron James. Of course, I would approve of that. It's LeBron. Remember this, KD, Kevin Durant. I could see Kevin Durant wanting to come back to the Warriors to finish his career. I think he had a good time here. I know that he loves Steph. I could see that. But here's my dark horse. Here's the guy who I would give up Kuminga and Wiggins for. And this is going to be a crazy one, I know. This is a new one. Dub Nation, consider this. Devin Booker. Yes, Devin Booker. Now, does he want to be a New York Knick? I believe so. I think he's talked about being on the Knicks like forever. But here's the thing. Did you see him on Team USA? He can be coached by Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr loves Devin Booker because Devin Booker D's up. What else does Devin Booker do? Devin Booker, Steph hands the franchise to Booker. I got goosebumps right there. Steph can easily hand the keys off to Booker, no problem whatsoever. That is a seamless transition. I mean, like, sure, no, you're never going to replace Steph or anything like that. But Devin Booker is a superstar, capable of being the face of a franchise, of a good franchise. I would trade Andrew Wiggins. I would trade Kuminga. I know who I said was it, just because Devin Booker is that good. And Devin Booker plays freaking defense. And I know that he fits with Steph because I saw it over the summer. That's my one dark horse. My one dark horse, because it's tough to see anybody else right now. You look at the standings, you look at how good competitive teams aren't really going to want to just gut their team, right? So it's going to be tough going for the Warriors. But look, don't stop believing on this season. It's still possible. It is still early in the season. Like, look, the Warriors get a player or two, they can go on like an 8-game run. And then you're looking at them just regular playoffs, not even playing, okay? But the Warriors have to have that sense of urgency. Unfortunately, they do. This is the season. Now is the time. You can't wait longer, or else you never know what's going to happen. You just can't continue to lose and continue to get your butt kicked night in and night out, like how the Warriors have. Okay, if there's one player out there, who do you want to see on the Golden State Warriors? For me, of course, I would love to see Steph play with LeBron, but remember that I said that. Devin Booker is a super dark horse that if he asked out, I could definitely see the Warriors asking about him. Until next time, hang in there, Dub Nation. And of course, like, subscribe. And for your Golden State Warriors content, I will see you next time at C-Train Station. Have a good one.